And we're live. Hey everybody, welcome back
Hello.
to the fourth session of our AMP year 1 into year 5 actual play that we've been doing here. And we've been having I've been having personally a lot of fun kind of using this as a vehicle to unveil new things that are going to be happening in year 5. I feel like possibly the faceless attack was a little bit of a giveaway, but I mean, that's February for you. So that's a big deal in the book too. So this is going to be our final session, and with that, we're essentially going to go the same route that we've been going, and we're going to probably do a few weeks of kind of downtime, exploratory kind of stuff, talking about what your characters are now going to be doing after accomplishing this huge mission with X-Hounds and all of that. It's actually a huge accomplishment that you have done, and it is going to change the world forever. So the question is, how does that change your characters? So, and going into all of this, I'll be paying attention to what you guys do, and some of that might end up in the book itself. Since it's currently being written, so I could always make some stuff up as we go along. So Crystal seems very happy about that. And then, and if anybody has any questions or anything about year 5 or AMP in general or anything like that, we'll have time at the end, and we can just discuss as players, and readers of the game, enjoyers of the game line. We can just talk about it. I can answer any questions you guys might have, and then otherwise, we're gonna have fun. So, the last thing that happened though was that you teamed up with X-Hounds plus some students that Serpentine and Retribution technically trained. I was actually giving Serpentine the credit because he organized the thing, but Retribution was actually there and doing quite a good job as well. So you guys trained a bunch of people. They ended up coming with you as well. Most of you ended up surviving. I think only like 2 of you. Well, 2 of the NPCs I think were injured, and then Retribution was injured pretty badly, right? Because you rolled poorly to get away from. I think you and Serpentine both rolled poorly to get away from the implosion. Is that correct?
Yeah. Retribution. I mean, he took 5 damage. He has 22.
Yeah, so it's not too bad.
Race took 3 brutal.
I've got 6 brutal. So
yeah. Well, see, okay. So just in fairness to Retribution, I think has like 20 something integrity, but like your average character has 10.
No, so sure.
I actually have a little extra from one of my augments, but it's still only 14. So yes,
made for abuse. It's
11.
He's made to take it.
10.
So, but of course, Crystal and Carol's characters, Bygone and Wraith, they didn't have to deal with any of that because Bygone opened a portal, which is going to open to some random place, which is going to be awesome. So first, let me get to Retribution and Serpentine. Let me do Serpentine first, because Serpentine specifically, if I recall you saying, since you had been using your powers, you were kind of separating yourself from the group just in case your trail was going to give away any safe house or location or anything. So where do you go to separate yourself?
I was a little unclear on this, but where is this location? We had to drive some distance.
Yeah, it was essentially it was a facility, right? It was like maybe 20. No, I think I had said it was like 2 hours outside of town. And it was like hidden. just like no one would see it unless they knew what they were looking for.
So early on, after in my preparation weeks for session 2, when I found the pamphlet for the Future League, I said that Serpentine was exploring the waterways of the Chicago area,
Yeah,
the Great
did
Lakes, and
say
all
that.
that. So, yeah, even though it would still be using his powers more and therefore still leaving a trail, or like weird ripples, I kind of think Serpentine might be on the cusp of getting magic or something, but as a side effect, his powers make stuff seem like it's underwater to amps who are able to track him that way.
Okay.
But so yeah, I did explore like various lakes and rivers and stuff like that for a whole week. So Serpentine is making for the nearest body of water.
That makes perfect sense. Yeah. And I'm not even going to make you roll since we had already kind of established that you did that earlier. That's very good callback use there, sir. So yeah, most definitely you head to the nearest waterway, you know the tunnels and the catacombs underneath, and like you know all of the fish life in there, and obviously you have Aquatica, so you can breathe underwater without issue. So you just go chilling in some water, and that makes sense. I like that a lot. Where does Retribution go after everything? Obviously, you like make it out of the implosion area, and you're standing there with Growler and Radiant and the Lance, and you're seeing no Bygone, no Wraith, no Serpentine.
That's his immediate.
Oh, actually, the Lance is not with it. The Lance is with them. I forgot. So
that's right.
Okay, so that's absolutely right. His immediate concern. So he's going to turn to who is it? Radiant. That's her name.
Yeah.
Hey, where's Serpentine? Is he all right?
She says, we got separated during the fight. I did look around. I didn't find him. I was able to recover a couple of the others, though.
When you last saw him, he was breathing, right?
When last I saw him, yes. He did kind of, mess up the whole gate destruction thing. But, I'll just have to chew him out later, I guess, on that. Assuming,
sure.
Because he'll be alive to chew out later.
That sounds, whatever. And then Aloy, is there anyone from the stealth team there? From
the infiltration team? No. Crystal took everybody.
Okay.
Yeah, no. Bygone took everybody that she could through the portal.
Okay, so then he'll look kind of to like Growler and be like, do you know where my friends are? Where Lancer is? What happened with the infiltration team? Do you know where they are?
He goes, no. Obviously, we were hoping that they were supposed to come out after they were done, and they didn't. I hope. Looking at the crater in the ground, he starts like, I really hope they're okay. Where would Lancer go? Like, right, you guys have done this before. Like, where would you meet him? He says we have a safe house, so I can take you there.
Yeah. I think Bygone could get out, and I think Wraith could get out. Bygone may be able to help other people. I'm not exactly certain how it works, but I think that's how it works. She can open up portals. You know anything about that? I don't know anything about. I guess you walk.
Not personally. No.
All right. Yeah. Let's go to the. Yeah. If I can go to your safe house. Yeah. Thanks. And he just seems really distraught and very, very kind of nervous, and not really concerned for anyone else. Not in a mean way, just in kind of like a much more focused way on people he knows and trusts.
Right. Well, and it was weird too that what Radiant was trying to do was actually make you feel better in her own way by saying, I'll chew his ass out later because he'll be alive later for me to chew his ass out.
Yeah.
So
Ray noticed,
nice in like
the noticed retribution.
I get you. So okay, cool. So you are headed to the safe house there.
Mm-hmm. And leaving text messages on their phones because people do that, right? Like, hey, where are you? Are you alive? Right? Very standard kind of, I guess, 2020 practice.
Yes. So what is your what's your range, Crystal, on your portals, excuse me?
All right. Hold on. I actually have no idea. Let me look it up.
Well, because you still have to still turn up somewhere you could have gone. So I do need to know your range.
Yes, I have distant.
Oh, which means you could go even further.
So I can create a portal anywhere within line of sight up to a range of portals times 10 feet away. So.
Oh, okay. So distant door means you can create it. So normally you have to, because it's a whole thing with portals. Normally it's like I can connect this door to another door. So I touch the door, it connects to another door, I open it, and it opens to somewhere that's somewhere else. But if you take distant door, you can just make it anywhere. You don't have to touch it. And you also have in thin air, which means you just create a portal from nothing.
Okay.
And you can create a portal from nothing within like 100 feet or whatever of yourself. But is any of that actually affecting how far your portals can go?
So my portals are portals plus discipline.
Portals plus discipline miles.
So 8 miles.
So within 8 miles of where you are. Okay. And you don't have anything that makes it farther than that. Or is there anything that makes it farther?
No, I don't. I don't think there was anything that makes it.
Yeah, no, I
don't
think that there is. It was already really powerful. So
yeah, like 8 miles is a long time.
Yeah,
so.
it kind of is, because a lot of people are like, why do you have like portals and teleportation? It's just like they work very, very differently. And one is more selfish, the other one helps others and stuff. So, for instance, if you had teleportation, somebody would have probably died. But since you have portals, no one has to die, which is nice. Okay, so Carol, where's the worst place you can think that you guys would have ended up?
Back down the road, I guess, or 8 miles closer to more hounds without our backup.
Okay. Well, the hounds are now they're done. So any hounds that you would have encountered, they are no longer being controlled. So they're not going to be really all that worried about you. Martin, where's the worst place you think they could end up?
Faceless meeting. Let's see, who else are bad people? One of the suppression scientist labs or something like that, or things like that. Yeah.
Suppression scientist lab. Okay. All right. So Ray, where's the worst place you think they could end up?
I don't know the town that well. Somewhere lost in some sort of like underground railway system, right?
Ooh.
Because then you couldn't portal out, right? Because you couldn't see where you were going exactly.
Chicago technically does have an undercity.
Yeah.
So I think something like that. And then they could also encounter like a new faction, or like I don't know.
I'm just trying to think in the radius of 8 miles, which if it took us 2 hours to get there, not sure what's close if it's way out of the way.
Well, yeah, and it's we're kind of using relative stuff here, because also it's just like 2 hours with a bunch of traffic isn't that much. Like if I go drive on I-4, you don't really go that far in 2 hours, but that's a whole thing.
We should have a podcast on that.
We really should. Just a whole podcast on how terrible I-4 is here.
So I mean, we could always end up in the water where Serpentine ended up if it's within 8 miles.
My worry is
I'm actually
right back in the center of what just collapsed.
Right. Well, that's the whole thing, right? Is wherever you end up, you can't go back, right? Because back through the portal is you'll die.
Yeah.
So wherever you end up, you're going to end up. So you find yourself, you come out, and you are in some underground catacombs that you've never seen before. And in front of you, you see a couple of people. One of them looks like they're like slightly translucent, but both of them appear to be wearing collars. And both of them are being held by members of the Faceless who have just stabbed and killed them. So yes, I combined all three of yours.
Clever.
I try as a GM.
All right.
So that is where you end up, and obviously they see you. The entire reason you're here is because you rolled a 1. So
Yeah.
so they
All
obviously immediately see you. Let's see. Let me roll a die real quick and see how many of them there are. There's not going to be that many of them because there's not that many Faceless right now. So dice roller. By the way, the dice roller, if you just type in dice roller into Google, that dice roller is really, it's pretty solid actually. It seems like you would want to go to like a custom one or something, but it's pretty nice. So there are actually 3 Faceless there. So and roll initiative. We're not going to do like a ton of battle here, but I just want to give actions their due here. You're probably going to go before me because I just rolled a 1 for the bad guys initiative.
Oh, good.
I don't know how much. I don't. My total's 9.
Oh, I got 24.
Whoa.
I got decent initiative, but my dice betrayed me.
Well, and again, I rolled a 1. So
that's comforting.
So what is your total then? It was 9 as well?
Mine was
Carol?
9. Yeah.
Yours was 9. All right. I ended up rolling a 9 because they have a +8. So they also have a 9, but it's I forgot. I have to roll for the lance. All right. I just said that the dice roller is awesome, but it's not. It just rolled another 1. So, like, I don't know why it would do 2 1s in a row. That is bad algorithm. But that means that the lance
it's
has
the last game.
That must be what it is. If I recall, he's got a plus. Crap, what book is he in? He's in the affiliation guide. I'll have to bring that up real quick.
See, I thought he was originally in the first.
He's
book,
originally in the
but
first book, but I'm
really
using the
updated.
Hound version of him. And the Hound version, he was rewritten as a Hound in the Hound affiliation guide. And he has a +17 to his initiative. So he technically has an 18. Even if he rolls a 1, he's going to go really fast. That is called Speedster. That's what that's called. So that means that Crystal still goes first, though, with a 24.
All right. What do I have? I don't really have much.
Well, they see you and they're headed towards you.
Okay, awesome. I am going to... Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. I might be able to do something to at least help with... Let's see. Okay. I am going to...
you all get a juice. I'm sorry.
Good.
You get a juice. Yeah. You are in danger here.
A little bit.
Okay, I am going to up the odds.
Okay.
So my next task, I can do 2 checks and take the better of the 2.
Ooh.
Nice. All right. So what are you going to do?
Are they running towards me?
Yes.
They
saw you, they threw down the bodies, and they are running towards you guys now.
Fantastic. I am going to try and open another door.
Okay, that's fair.
And it's good, but the thing is that's going to take me a minute because I don't have the fast door. So
Oh, wait, hold on. Let me see. Fast door only takes 1 round. Oh, normally it takes a whole minute. It takes 6 rounds to open up a portal.
yup.
Okay. All right. So you don't have fast portal. So
Nope. And I
you
am
guys are
not a
going to have
fighter.
to survive for 6 rounds while Crystal opens up a separate portal.
Okay.
So hey, let's see. Martin, do you have the Hound book?
I do not, but let me. I do have it. I mean, I have the AMP book link you
Yeah.
shared open. Let me just pull
Yeah.
up Hounds, and it's the first one. So.
All right,
give me
you're
a
gonna
second.
play the Lance. Ray, you're gonna play the Faceless.
Cool.
So
Fantastic.
Crystal starts opening the portal. Bam.
Okay.
She is on it. Now it is the Lance's turn. If you have that open, Martin. What is the
I've
Lance
got it.
gonna do?
So the Lance is doing. Sorry. Fast tracks. I do.
Die and timeout.
Oh, 1 second. Let me pull up the thing. I just realized I need to get his powers up too.
Not a problem. I have them all pretty much up. So if there's something you want to know how it works, just let me know.
Okay. Anything particularly useful for attacking or disarming?
Let me see.
Power wise? Otherwise, I'll just roll like.
I don't know if
fighting.
he specifically has that because he is a medic.
Right.
Like he has fast tasks, me first, and no obstacle. Yeah, so those are not like he doesn't have impossible punch or anything like that. He does have he obviously has his lance, which would mean that you would do additional damage. But otherwise, no. He's not necessarily the best combat person. He's just really fast.
So, yeah, he'll try to buy time for Bygone and Lance, one of the people going at him. So that would be what, fighting plus speed, or
All right. Fighting in how are you attacking? With your lance or punching
with,
or
with the
grab
lance?
one and run or like
Yeah, attacking with the lance. I figure. Yeah.
Okay.
So fighting
So
in
that-
might or something.
Yeah, so that's gonna be fighting and speed. You had it right. It'll be fighting and speed. And Ray, how are the faceless going to get out of this?
Oh, I mean, I think, right, they're awesome super fighter people. So they're going to attempt to show how tough they are by parrying this guy's blows with their weapons.
Sounds wonderful.
That's their jam. That's what they're
Because
into.
that's their jam. Yeah.
Mhm. Do you have
All
generic
right,
stats for them somewhere, Aloy, or no?
what's that?
Are there generic stats for the faceless somewhere, or no?
There are not,
Don't
but
worry about
I'm going to use the stats from the one in Ampere 2.
Gotcha. Cool.
So that's fighting and speed as well to parry.
I only got a 12 on that roll, so
Okay, you got a 12.
Probably.
total, yeah.
And is it fighting in half of the secondary skill, right? To fight?
No, it's fighting in the
Oh.
full. It's the only reason you would half it is if you are you're using the same skill again. That's when you half it of the
Cool.
second one. So real quick though, they actually have improved weapon, so I was just going to make sure what improved weapon does. So
I rolled a 4. It's a pretty great roll.
I rolled a 4 as well.
It's not, but it means that you're going to add +2 to all your rolls because you have improved weapons.
Cool.
So you have a 4, 5, and a 4. So you're rolling with a +11.
Okay, so I got a 15.
And you had a 12, Martin? All right, so yep, you block the Lance's attack. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Very cool. Well, Carol, you get to go next.
Okay, well, I'm going to combat them with love. Actually, no, I'm going to reach into one's chest and try knockout.
Hey, you've had that this whole time, and you have not yet to use it. So let's do it.
So
It's so nice when you touch someone's heart.
technically lungs, but close enough. But yeah, I hope to at least confuse him by running towards him with no
Right.
weapons.
So that's
then,
knockout, correct?
correct.
Okay.
And that is
Intangibility and medicine.
which I do have some because. All right, that is
Rolling an opposed fortitude check.
Yes.
So
7, 8, which is not bad at all. And
your
that's a
fortitude is plus 3.
Mhm.
Well, it's a 2, but it's going to be plus 3 because you're
Cool.
tapping it again. Yep.
Okay.
A 15.
Hang on. 14 plus 8, 22.
Wow, very cool. Well,
Nice.
you got it, I think, because Ray rolled pretty good, actually. You
I rolled
rolled
12.
solid. Yeah, that's pretty solid. It's just bad fortitude on this one. So, all right, cool. So let's see what it says. It says you reach into the target's chest and squeeze their lungs, forcing a fortitude check against power activation to resist being knocked out for the duration. And the duration is intangibility minutes. So what's your intangibility?
6.
All right, so they're going to be knocked out for the next 6 minutes. So that's one down.
Yeah,
You have-
that person lays on the ground.
Yep. All right.
Good
Well,
night.
there are still 2 other faceless, though.
Yeah.
One is face to face with the lance.
Mm-hmm.
The other one, you can do whatever. One of them has to fight the lance.
Yeah, that was going to happen anyway. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I mean, that one's going to swing a weapon at the lance, and that's pretty awesome.
Awesome.
So they roll plus 7, so they get a 27 because I rolled a 20.
Ooh.
Nice.
All right. How is the
How well does the lance get out of the way? It's basically
We are gonna
I
land.
hope well. Yeah. Yeah.
The lance does not have too slow. Too slow is one of my favorite ones. It's just I spend a juice and you missed. Like because
Yeah,
but
that
the
would
lance
be
doesn't
nice.
have that. He focused on other things in his build.
Yeah. Is there like a reflex save or a dodge thing?
Well, you would choose how you're going to defend. So are you going to block with your weapon? Are you going to dodge out of the way? Are you going to try and feint? Essentially figuring out which skills you want to use and justifying it in your explanation.
I think dodging or blocking with the weapon would be pretty badass, but I think it makes a little more sense to try to dodge out of the
Okay.
way. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then that would be athletics and speed, and of course, plus acceleration.
Ooh, cool. So that's
Which is because, of course, it's plus acceleration. That's the whole point. You have it.
that's why you took that power.
so
Exactly. That's why you take that power. Exactly.
yeah.
So that means that you're going to end up with, let me see, that's 11.
It's like a plus 16 total.
16.
So
Yes.
it's athletics 5, speed 5, acceleration 6.
Which is awesome against anything other than a natural 20. So we have to see
And
now.
I rolled an 18.
Okay.
So
Very cool. Very
So-
cool.
no natural 20. Oh wait, they did get a natural 20. Yeah. Right?
Yeah, they got a natural 20, which means something is still going to happen because natural 20s there still something has to happen. Do I remember what? No.
I think Lancer gets a juice, right? Because Lancer was credit, or is that
No,
when you fumble?
you rolled a 20. He didn't.
Okay.
Yeah, if he rolled a 20, then yes. But let me see. Where's the rolling a natural 20 part of this rules here? Oh, here we are. Critical success. So with a critical success, you can gain back health, regain juice, do extra damage, but you missed. You can receive a +3 to your next attack, or you can. So what I'm going to say here is that, yeah. So I'll say you can either, Ray, get +3 to your next attack. Add +2 to the next attack. Like if you were to say like the other one sees an opening and goes in, you can get a +3, or you can wake up the third one.
Oh, you got to wake up the third one.
Not to act this round. They'll act next round, but because you still got to give Carol's power it still affected this round. So you're doing the wake up?
Actually, no. You know what? We're not going to wake up the third one because I already decided what the other one was going to do. We're just going to get a +2 in this next attack.
+2 on the next, +2 damage on the next attack, or +3 to the roll?
+3 to the roll.
Okay, +3 to the roll.
Yeah. So the third.
So the other faceless sees an opening.
Yeah, the third faceless reaches down to his belt and throws a grenade at Wraith because that's what they have. They have grenades. It says on their character sheet. So he throws a custom grenade. He doesn't care if he blows up his friend. He's crazy. I don't know how to throw a grenade in this system. I don't know what grenades do.
That works for me, to be quite honest.
He's willing to blow up his friends. He's fine with it.
Yeah. Well, essentially, oh my gosh. It doesn't say what type, right? It just says you have it.
Custom grenades.
Okay. So do you want ice grenades, fire grenades, big bang grenades, or smoke grenades?
I think just Big Bang, only because that's the most standard.
Okay, so if you're throwing it towards Ray, let me see. I think the range. All right, the range is going to get, I think, everybody but you, because the range on the custom grenades is stupid.
Okay,
so it's going to get everybody.
Sure.
All right. Well, basically, there's not really a roll because you don't have to throw it at anybody. You just have to throw it in the vicinity.
Can they jump out of the way like a cool action movie or something?
The Lance can, because the Lance is a speedster, and obviously Wraith has intangibility, so that is a separate roll that Wraith will get.
I can also spend a juice and make somebody else intangible with me.
That's awesome.
So if Lancer runs, I can grab Bygone and make us both intangible. And she can still be making her portal. Because I don't think I won't move her. I will just touch her and make her intangible.
Well, that makes perfect sense to me.
Oh, thank goodness.
I have to add the faceless guy.
You still got to make the roll, is all I'm saying.
You dirty scumbag amps, and makes a big show of it, right? He's like, check out this. He points the grenade. He smiles at it, pulls the pencil in, and chucks it. Because he's awesome, and the grenades are awesome.
Okay, so I only have to make the roll once, the intangibility plus speed check as a reaction to go intangible, and I just have to spend the juice to include Bygone.
Correct.
Got it.
So essentially, what I'm going to have Ray do, he doesn't have to actually make the roll to throw the thing, but he's going to be rolling against your reaction roll.
Okay.
So you still have to beat the faceless's roll.
With what skill?
Okay.
You use Gadgeteer and Athletics.
I had a good start.
23.
Oh, it rolled behind my laptop. 18.
The unconscious faceless, he's going to definitely get hit.
Absolutely.
He's definitely getting hit. And actually, let me roll for the Lance real quick, but I'm pretty sure the Lance will do it.
23 is pretty good.
Oh yeah. No, the Lance gets out of the way, and because the Lance is the Lance, he also moves the other faceless out of the way because that's who he is.
He's so nice.
18, so 28 total.
Oh,
28 total. Is that you, Ray? You got a 23, right?
23, yeah.
Okay. Well then, and then you spend the extra juice for Crystal.
And I spend the juice. We just
Yeah. All right. Well, you throw the custom grenade, and it goes. Anything in the vicinity would have suffered a bunch of damage. If I recall, let me actually see here. I think it says three brutal, which isn't that much, but you can spend like experience and stuff to make it more and all that.
But when you've already
So-
got.
Yeah, this faceless individual thinks they're the awesomest person around until the dust clears and everyone's there, and the Lance is like down the thing holding his butt, and he's like, ah.
Technically, they were doing really cool things, but all they did was really hurt their friend. So,
Very true.
all right. Well, then that's it. Next round, Crystal is working on the portal, and now it's the Lance's turn. Now I'm gonna say the Lance reactionarily. That's not really a word. Ran a bit down the tunnel, so you and the other faceless are kind of by yourselves right now. So, what are you going to do as the Lance?
I'm going to go with the lifesaver, right? Lifesaver, not lightsaber. Draw back and zoom back and see if I can dig out anyone else or something like that.
Oh, okay. Well, there was only one
Rescue.
person injured, and that was the other. Well, you're still kind of technically entangled with the faceless.
Oh, okay, yeah. Grappling.
They don't seem to be trying to stop fighting you. You can, of course, disengage and make a roll to disengage, but then that would mean that they would get a free attack on you.
Yeah, and if they have, I don't know what they have. They might have other grenades and stuff. So yeah,
Stuff.
I'll try and like as while speeding, like bang their head against the side of the tunnel or something like that. Try to knock them out.
Oh, going for the knockout. Cool.
Yep.
All right, let's go fighting in might
Okay.
for the knockout.
I have to remind myself I'm not looking at Serpentine's sheet, but the Lances. So might 3, fighting 3. So it'll be a total of +6. And my dice roll is only a 9. So
The faceless got a 24.
oof.
Wow.
I just
No, it's just Martin's dice don't like him tonight.
They are being awful to me. Yeah.
I don't like mine. Mine are sucky. That's why I'm like, you guys roll it.
all right.
Cool. Okay, so you try to slam the faceless against the wall and it fails. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, or at least I think so. It's like what?
What was your total?
15? 9 plus 6, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
15.
So yeah, you're trying to disengage from this faceless, and it is just not happening. Like they're you try to like slam them, and they're like blocking it, and they're going for counterattacks and all that stuff. It's crazy. Okay. Well, yeah. Actually, it's Carol's turn. So what is Wraith now doing as the smoke clears and you see that the bomb went off?
Okay, everyone's in one piece that I think needs to be in one piece.
Yes.
Well, and there's still 2 faceless.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna go after the crazy dude who threw the grenade, and try knockout with him as well. So let's see.
He looks very afraid of you touching him.
Yes. Seriously.
He doesn't want that to occur.
So that's
that improved armor doesn't really work against intangibility, sadly.
18.
Better than what he got.
There you go. All right, he is also now knocked out then.
Oh.
And so it's the last faceless's turn then.
I mean, you have to definitely stab Lancer, because that's you didn't bring this knife for show. But you did this time. Roll your defense, Lancer. I got a 9. No.
Well, and remember, you're rolling with +11.
A 10. What?
You roll with a +11.
A 13. My apologies. I forgot the mastery in fighting.
Yes.
Yeah, that's okay. So I rolled a 5, and I'm grappled, so I can't exactly dodge the way I could before, right? No, or can I?
Well, technically, if we use those rules, because we weren't technically using the grappling stuff, because otherwise I would have had Ray's roll be different as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think are we narratively grappled, but not?
I mean, yeah, you're narratively grappled, but not full-on grapple rules, right? So I mean, but honestly, I think that that's kind of the thing with the lance is like you're rolling with a plus. I believe what was it, 17 or
It was
16?
16, yeah.
Yeah,
For
so
that, for
as long as you
dodging.
didn't roll a 1, you got out of the way because I think his total was a 13.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So 16 plus 5, so 21 total.
All right. Hey, as long as it wasn't a 1. All right. So now with this round 3, there's still one faceless around. So Carol, do you want to do something about it?
So if I look at him and go, ah, does he go
Yeah,
away?
I mean, no wrong.
The only thing that I'll say, I was going to say, the only thing I'll say is because the lance ran away from the bomb, it basically, if you were going to go after the third one, it'll take you this turn to get there, and then you'd be able to do something next round. Because the lance ran with the guy.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to let him take care of dude because I want to make sure that she's okay because she's still making the portal and we don't know who else is around.
That makes sense to me.
So I'm going to stay here and guard bygone.
So then Lance, let's see. How do you take him out? Gotta do it. You gotta do it.
All right. Yeah. Whamming him with the non-pointy end of the lance. Still trying to keep this loser alive.
Defense 30.
Okay. So that's on the die. That's a 12, and it's might plus athletics. You said might plus fighting. So that's
might and fighting.
So 18.
He got a 30.
Wow.
I rolled an 18.
What die are you using? Okay, I was gonna say, that is just ridiculous.
He's using a D100.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I rolled a 30, guys.
Is it a percentile game? Although you have a choice to make for the faceless. Does the faceless either run away from the speedster, or does the faceless drop a grenade at their feet? Which is a classic bad guy move in bad movies.
I would probably say, like, you grab whoever you're fighting and you set it off.
That's what he does. That's what happens.
Yes. Okay. That is what happens.
Vengeance for humanity.
Yeah, stuff blows up. The faceless blows up and does the lance a bunch of damage.
Sure.
So there you go.
It's gross.
Fight over.
How do we calculate how fast the lance can strip? Like, is that like a thing? What is striptease rules for?
I'm actually going to say that the lance was taken aback. He did not see it coming, is what I will say. All right, cool. There you go.
It was in the realm of Sandy, probably wouldn't.
I was trying to save your life, jerk, and you killed yourself and blew me up.
I have a very strong idiom I have to follow.
No, it was awesome. Well done, Ray.
No, that was awesome. You guys are rock. And actually, what the lance does is, he survives the blast, and the other, he spends a little bit of time on both of the two injured ones from the blasts. He heals them at least a little bit, just enough so that they don't die, but not enough that they wake up. So he does heal them though, because that is, again, just kind of who that character is. So in a few moments later, you finish your all of that happened in 30 seconds was all of that. So yeah, then you open up the portal and you guys go through. Where do you guys go? Where are you opening the portal to? Just back to town?
Back to I don't really am I able to get back to town? Like am I how far off 8 miles?
You're just gonna say you're able to get back to town.
Huh?
Yeah, we'll say you're able to get back to town. Yeah.
Okay, then I would go back to town rather than going back to the site.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Any particular place you want to end up?
As
somewhere we can hose off the lands.
I mean, either anywhere close. Wraith, would you be comfortable with your apartment or?
Yes.
Okay,
I'm fine.
Whoever's closer is Wraith or mine. It doesn't matter. Apartment.
All right.
If possible.
Let me see whose apartment is closer. Your apartment's closer.
Okay.
So
cool.
you go to your apartment. Yeah, and then when you get there with the lance like takes a moment. It's like and starts feeling.
I do have to roll.
Oh, that's right. You do have to roll. Go ahead. I forgot you have to roll.
Odds. That's why I did up the odds.
I love it.
While she's working on that, I'm going to, now that we're no longer in danger, check my phone. Because I don't know where my other teammates are. So how many messages do I have from Retribution?
Well, hold on. Well, let's see. Did you roll poorly?
I got 11 and an 18, so I'm good.
Okay, so either of them were going to be okay then. That's good.
Either of them were going to be okay.
I guess that's a good question. Does either Serpentine or Retribution text or call or do anything for Wraith's phone?
Yeah, so Retribution would have left a text message on everyone's phone, and he would not send multiple text messages because that's creepy, but he would have been staring at his phone the entire ride to see when it was looked at. Right, because that's less creepy.
Yeah,
at least less intrusive. Right, he's just like going back and forth between his three friends, waiting to when the message is seen. And the moment it's seen, then you get the next text message, which is, "Are you okay?" Right.
Okay. Well, I would respond, "Little banged up, but alive." You?
Fine. And then everyone else okay? Serpentine, bygone? Question mark? Question mark?
We're not with Serpentine. And you didn't take any damage, did you, Crystal?
No, I didn't.
Bygone's fine.
Thanks to Wraith.
Yeah, just basically figure out where you're going and then have my new friends bring me there. Bring me to my
I would text my apartment.
Okay.
Cool.
Are you with Serpentine?
No.
Damn.
No, he I lost him in the blast.
There you go. How long do you stay underground, Serpentine? How long do you stay under? Like, how long does your trail last?
It is. I think it's. What is it? It's trail 2. Yes, trail 2, which, if I remember correctly, is like 2 hours. Or am I?
Let's see.
Trail. Drawbacks.
Here's trail. It lingers for 1 hour after.
But I have it at the 2.
That means that anyone who would be hunting you would get +4. They get +2 for each level that you take. So it's basically how strong is your trail, but it still only lasts for about an hour.
Okay, that's cool. So yes, I'll stay under for about an hour, and I really, really hope the next Kickstarter comes with an Atlantis affiliation guide, because you talked about Atlantean technology and clans and stuff, but it's like, oh, but what are they? And
what I'll say about that real quick is just that there are 6 affiliations that still need guides, so that will happen hopefully with the Kickstarter. That's the, you know, I'm going to be hiring people to write them. So I don't know if I don't think I could write them. I don't know. I might write one of them.
So,
There's a couple
so
that I like
the
a
main
lot.
the
What's
main
that?
question then is, does Serpentine have some sort of Atlantean phone that's waterproof or something like that, or would he have left his phone at home at Crystal's apartment? At Bygone's apartment.
No, I
In
mean
order
we
to.
can go ahead and just assume that you have your phone on you. Just I mean we're just kind of assuming nobody leaves home without their phone.
And they do make waterproof pouches. I mean,
Yeah.
someone would have bought you that.
Exactly.
One of us would have covered that.
Bam.
So yes, it might be badly misspelled because I'm typing through the pouch, but like I'm here to cool off and draw the attention away. Be back as soon as I pull myself out, and I'll keep in touch after an hour or so.
Okay. Yeah, so he'll end up showing up like a few like all right, so let's see. So like you Crystal and Wraith. So Bygone and Wraith ended up getting basically back to your apartment. I would say probably maybe 15-20 minutes after the implosion.
Yes.
It's gonna take everybody else 2 hours to get back,
Mhm.
and and an extra hour for Serpentine. So you have a bit of time. There's like a bit of time lapse between what's happening. So
and can I just say that everyone else has real world names that could satisfy actual superhero names? It's rather disappointing for me. Like I'm the only one who couldn't have a superhero name with their real names, honestly.
So Lloyd, during that time, one, Wraith is like, ow, because 3 brutals gonna sting.
yeah.
And she's also going to be pretty upset still about Pattern.
Okay.
If the Lance comes with us, she'll explain what happened because he looked very confused when I didn't come back with her. So she explains that, and she's actually really yes, her professor was trying to kill her, but that's a lot of death that she hasn't seen before. Yeah. And the fact that, and she knows she didn't kill the other 2 faceless.
Right.
And she really had no desire to. But she was actually kind of angry and like, well, if the grenade kills them, they did it to themselves. So she's not in a great place.
Yeah.
But I think she'll be relatively calm, just kind of quiet and out. So how long does it take to get rid of Brutal?
What's that?
How long does it take to get rid of Brutal? It's at least a few days.
I believe it's a day of rest.
Okay.
Like a day of doing nothing.
But you don't mind if I crash here, do you?
If you even like Lance or whatever, the Lance will heal that.
Oh,
so
okay.
that's
what he does. You ice packs and and like ibuprofen.
Thank you. If he wants to and he doesn't need to continue to heal himself, she won't say no. She'll say thank you.
Well, he actually feels more comfortable healing other people anyway. So and technically, like, it costs more juice to heal himself. It's harder.
I think
much harder to do it on yourself. That's called regeneration. Different power. So with the healing, it's designed to work on other people. So he's much more willing to do that. And he would want to do that. He'd check up on you guys before he healed himself anyway. So so that's
Bygone would be pacing.
Okay.
She's gonna burn energy.
He does eventually say like, Radiant texted me and said that they're heading to our safe house. And so if you didn't have anything else to say to him or whatever, he says like, we'll contact you within the next week or so. But I'm gonna go meet them there. So unless you had something to say to him.
All right.
Just thank you for the healing.
And then it's like the Flash,
Sorry.
where all of a sudden there's a gust of wind and he's gone. So and then, like I said, like a couple hours later, Retribution gets there. They drop you off at Bygone's apartment, and then an hour after that, Serpentine shows up.
So Retribution, right before he gets out of the car or whatever, like when he gets out of the car and he's talking to Growler and to Radiant and like whoever else is there, he's like, "Are you guys huggers?" Right? He like asked if they want a hug, and if they want a hug, he gives them a hug, and if they don't want a hug, he doesn't give them a hug.
Yeah,
Totally
Growler's fine. Like, he gives you like a warrior's hug where you're hitting each other's back on, you know, like,
Retribution for that demonstration of masculinity. He just hugs gently and truly.
Yes.
It's not really. He's not a warrior hug guy, but
Growler is. Radiant says no, thank you.
right on.
And
And off his back, and then he'll rush inside.
all right. And then, like I said, a little bit later, Serpentine shows up. So the four of you are now together. If there's anything you want to do right now, we can. Otherwise, we'll start moving to a week later, 2 weeks later, that sort of thing.
I will say under these circumstances, Wraith is a hugger, so she will give both of them hugs if they want them.
Retribution did the same thing with the two of you. And by the time Serpentine is back, he's wearing an apron and he's already made moderately okay pancakes. Because it can be exhausting getting into a harrowing situation, and pancakes are like the right food for that.
And that's better than the terrible pancakes he made in the first session.
Moderately okay, really.
They're moderately okay now. They're not terrible anymore.
They're not terrible.
And Serpentine is a hugger as well, and he'll stretch out his arms to give hugs to everyone at once.
I'll ignore that.
But Bygone is like one of those reluctant huggers, like a goth hugger. Like she's not going to say no,
Nice.
but she's not going to initiate either.
Sure. I don't want to hug. I want to hug. Whatever.
Yeah, Serpentine's always. I'm so glad you're all alive. I'm so sorry about not blowing down the wall. I've never blown up a wall before.
Dude, don't worry.
What are you talking about? You're alive. We won. The bad guys lost. Everyone's mostly okay. You did great. Don't let anyone else tell you didn't. That's nonsense.
Very cool. All right, cool. So we'll go ahead about 2 weeks. What are you guys going to do for about the next 2 weeks?
Okay.
I already know what I'm going to do.
How about we start with Crystal, and we'll go in the normal order here.
All right. So Bygone is first going to check back in with the block.
Okay.
And see if she got picked to be part of the mentor program, or when they were going to announce that.
Yeah. No, they definitely, like, when you get back, probably about the next week, they do announce, and yeah, you are essentially one of 3 potential candidates.
Yeah. All right. I'll spend some time there, but the big thing that I wanted to do is I wanted to go back and try to find the catacombs.
Okay.
I have never seen them before. I'll invite the others to see if they want to go with me.
I'll go.
That sounds fun. God, what kind of, I guess that would be a survival and knowledge check.
Okay.
Do you want to? Retribution will go with you too.
Okay.
We'll probably make this an extended roll. So we'll say, in order to find the hidden catacombs of the city, we need, let's say, I don't know, 6 successes.
Okay. I am going to up the odds for myself, at least for the first roll.
And Aloy, can we all roll or just Bygone?
Yeah, basically anybody who's helping can roll, and then that'll just contribute to the total number of successes that are necessary.
I rolled a 12.
Okay.
Total's 12.
So that is 1 success.
Retribution got a 21.
21. All right, cool.
Hold on, let me just check up the odds just for one of the rules. Hold on a second.
Sure.
And I've got 6 points of brutal damage, am I able to go cavern exploring while I'm healing that up?
If you do, actually, you can, since we're going 2 weeks, so you can do each day of light activity heals 1. So that would be 14. Even
I mean,
even
Bygone,
activity.
if we're doing 2 weeks, Bygone would wait until everyone feels better to do
There you
it.
go. Even better.
It makes sense.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do up the odds. I'll wait with that one.
You
Okay.
said it was survival and knowledge.
Yeah, survival and knowledge.
I got 12.
Too much help. That is. Yeah, that's only an 8 on my roll.
Okay, so no extra one there. Crystal, what's your level of luck?
My level of luck is 2.
2. Okay, so let me see. So yeah, so it's capped by your level. So I mean, you could always just give yourself a +2. You could spend a juice and give yourself a +2. Like, bam. Like that's the good thing about the luck. That's the good thing about the luck power. It's just like I spend juice and I get bonuses. Like that's just how that works. It's just done.
So if
or
I'm
you can spend juice and give people negatives. That's also fun.
And so if I'm close, I can just add 2 more. If I spend
so it's like bam, I got 2 more. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And if I recall, you can even reflexively modify a check you've already made. So it's like bam.
Okay, cool. So I got a 12 on that roll. Was I close enough to do that or no?
Oh yeah, 10s are all I'm looking for.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
yeah I'm good.
You guys got 3, which means you wouldn't find the catacombs this time. You'd find it the next set of weeks. But that's good. That's like a good team activity there.
Cool.
So you found the catacombs, you checked in. So you're going to be a candidate for training with Phase. So that should be fun. And that next round of weeks as well. What is Retribution doing during the next couple of weeks?
Retribution has been kind of probably around the university or around the like the apartments generally. Okay. He's been very kind of closed off and has been seeking like a lot of like alone time, which is a little different than his behaviors have been in the past. It might be similar for Wraith in terms of like him like reading books. So it doesn't really seem much. Maybe it doesn't seem as different to Wraith. I guess the only difference is like when Wraith comes around, Retribution would kind of very nervously cover up like a notebook that he has around and like go back to reading a book. And he's acting very similar outside of, he seems to be like hiding this notebook, like a classic composition book kind of thing.
During that time, I mean, if it's noticeable, she won't ask about the notebook because it's none of her business. But she will ask how you're doing.
Oh, he's like, no, I'm, it's crazy, right? Like we did like hero nonsense, right? Like that's not.
We help people, and I think that's good.
No, yeah, but like you didn't like. I didn't think that was like possible, right? Like somebody came up to us and was like, "Do you want to free a whole bunch of enslaved amps?" And of course, like the answer is yes, but like even to get asked, that's kind of amazing.
It is, and it's a lot to take in.
Yeah, no doubt. Right, and then like so he's just chatting like that, and that's kind of his. That's
and
where
in the back of
she
Wraith's
won't be
mind,
really
like,
pushy.
Yeah, and in the back of Wraith's mind, it's like, you're welcome. They asked because of me.
Okay, no.
No, I'm kidding. I know that's not really right.
Even if that were her inside voice, she knows enough to keep it inside.
All right. Well, so Serpentine, what are you doing then for the next couple of weeks after kind of recovering from this mission you just did?
So the first week is probably going to be doing, checking up on the people, apologizing to the 2 he knocked out in the initial thing, making sure everyone who went along is as okay as they can be with everything. He's not going to do any of like the training stuff because he's still pretty beaten up and he can't be flung around for it. But he'll keep in touch with everyone and just try and like keep their spirits up and all that.
You put kind of you put a hold on the meetings for how long? For basically a couple of weeks.
For 1 week, I think. I think they are. It is important, and I've only got 6 brutal damage, so I'll be able to heal up.
What I will say is, of the 8 who volunteered to go along and do the thing, I would say 3 of them decide that they're done. They're like, no, thank you. 2 of them were 2 that were hurt, and then the third one is just like, this was too much for me. Like, I just can't. I can't with this.
Yeah, it wasn't what you signed up for.
Right.
I hear you.
Well, he signed up for it, but he was just like, I shouldn't have. This was too much. So just a little overwhelmed. But the other 5 are like, it was so good what we did, and we helped people and whatnot. Yeah, I like that. All right, cool. Wraith, anything that you're going to be doing?
She's actually going to check in with the Seekers and talk to. Who did she talk to? She talked to Dr. Glass, and she also talked to. I'm trying to.
Arbiter.
Arbiter, yeah.
Arbiter.
And she asks if there's someone she can talk to. She explains what happened with the hounds and Pattern, and she's like, I just don't know how to process this by myself.
Okay.
If they can just recommend someone. She's also going to take that information back to Kirk, back to Retribution, to see if he wants to talk to anybody. If he's going to talk to anyone, he'll at least feel safer with the Seekers. And she'll tell the others too. She's like, I don't know if you guys need this, but if they can find someone for her to talk to. And also she asks more about joining the Seekers. Like, and they know her skills. She's mad good at research. She really is. So she's like, I can do that. I can, she's starting to feel this is so much bigger than her, bigger than all 4 of them. And she needs a bigger space to be an amp in because everything feels so big,
Well, I'm going to say, since you had rolled so well, if I recall, during the last thing, when you come back, she invites you. Like, she's definitely,
I think that did work out pretty
well. If you are
well.
wanting to join the Seekers, you definitely can.
Okay.
What she also says was, of course, there's not going to be a ton of monetary stuff out of this because a lot of the funding for what they do at that facility has been shifted to other parts of the company, of the organization.
She does let her know she's going to keep her teaching position and do that. So she doesn't necessarily expect to get paid for this. But yeah, and she'll, like I said, she'll tell the others and what she did and the resources and stuff like that.
All right, cool. Yeah, they say that they're lucky to have you.
Aw.
So that is wonderful. So let me see.
Oh, sorry. And we get 2 more weeks. Okay, she's going to do a second thing during that latter 2 weeks.
We'll do a second thing. So during this 2-week period or so, one major thing starts happening. There is a bunch of government funds, and Wraith would know that this is kind of connected to the Seekers. A whole lot of other what is it? Not branches, but basically a whole bunch of other places where government money goes, a whole bunch of it gets taken and put towards the construction of a brand new tower in the middle of, I'm trying to remember which city it ends up in like one of the largest cities. We'll say New York, just because everything happens in New York. But they're actually starting to build a brand new tower there that is being, it's ostensibly connected to the Seekers, but a lot of the money is going into the construction of said tower. And that tower is it's being built out of, and you guys would recognize it just because now you not only did you spend some time inside of it as a prison, but then you broke into another facility that had a lot of the same construction. But it's using a lot of the same construction that like the chamber used. But it's not a prison, it's like a tower, kind of like a clock tower sort of deal. So that has started. That's kind of a big deal. And also, obviously, the former hounds, they do, check in with you. They want to debrief. They want to make sure that all of you are okay, on the back end, because, that was a huge thing that they asked you to do. And, you guys have gotten their respect, and, you can contact them whenever you need to and whatnot. Even Retribution, Radiant seems to, gives you like the respectful glare.
Nice. Nice. That's a really solid glare.
Yeah,
No one
so
feels
it's a solid glare.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of that. And obviously they plan on going and joining the Chain Gang, which is an affiliation of X-Hounds. But, obviously that is going to probably end up putting them in the limelight a lot. And they're not, expecting that any of you would want to do that sort of thing, especially since, when they go and they do that, the Chain Gang just filed for a bunch of like special considerations for X-Hounds, they should have special status and protection, obviously. So there's a whole lot of like ongoing litigation and stuff around that, which means anybody who would be a member of the Chain Gang is going to end up being interviewed or talked to, or paparazzi and all that stuff. So kind of stinks, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I think Retribution would tell Growler, and then like if something comes up and they need him to like give me a call, and basically if they press it all, he's kind of like wistfully happy that Wraith got invited to join the Seekers, right? And Serpentine is like doing this other thing, and he's just kind of like, he's future proofing, right? His connection to people. He wants to leave the door open because he's
And they basically say exactly the same thing back. They're like, if you need us, let us know. We're there. You definitely helped them. And obviously I would say Growler has more of a love for you guys than even the other two. The other two were like, we noticed one of them has intangibility. We can use that. Growler's like, these are my buddies, though. So it's a little bit different, depending upon which one you wanted to talk to. All right. So then another couple weeks after that. So what are you guys going to do now? Crystal, what are you doing that week? This is the time period where you're also going to be starting your training.
Yep. So that will, I will start that. And then when I am not training and I'm able to gather everybody, we're going to continue to explore for the catacombs. So
the training is interesting. When you go to the block, the Kiesling is there again, and he's very large and intimidating, and it's you and two other kind of undescript amps. Like one has like stone bending powers, and another one can what can they do? Oh, they can change sizes, but like neither of them are necessarily doing that right now because that's not what they're here for. So, but the Kiesling actually asked each of you to bring a personal item as a focus item with you. So what is it that Bygone brings as her focus item?
It's going to be a necklace that her mother had left with her when her mother had to go away.
Awesome. That's great. Yeah, and one of the other ones has like a straight up like Harry Potter wand that they bought from Universal Studios, and the other ones have like a ring that he's like, I'm going to use this ring. So, and it's crazy because like what FaZe ends up doing is helping you to kind of unlock this kind of hidden potential within you. And you do start to like, you're like, oh, wow, I didn't know that I could make myself levitate or, things like that. It's kind of crazy, the stuff that you're learning. And at first, you're mostly just learning very small things. But just kind of tapping into that power is what you're learning right now. And you can just feel the potential of, what's there for the future.
Cool.
All right.
So she would actually be like a very like, if she needed to take notes, she'd take notes. If she did, and she'd be practicing at the apartment. So you'd see her doing weird things that she wasn't doing before.
Love it. And what I'll say, like Trinity, like meets up with you after every one of your classes, like tell me everything. So like, she's totally all about it. She didn't actually want to do it, but she's very interested in it.
They'll make it like a date thing where they'll go out for like coffee or whatever at like like if there's a coffee place in the block, she'd go there and talk with them about with Trinity about that.
Exactly. So there you go. And yeah. All right, cool. So that happens. We'll roll for the catacombs here at the end because that's a group thing. Anything else Retribution wants to do in the next couple of weeks after that?
The same thing. He's very kind of. He's just he's very busy doing something that requires a lot of inner life. That's what
I got you. Serpentine. What is Serpentine doing for the next 2 weeks after that?
Serpentine's probably definitely working more with the self-defense making waves group, kind of spreading Atlantean thought and training and stuff among the people of Chicago and everything. But so definitely doing that. I don't know. I'd still like to find out more about, see if I can make some other connection with the Future League, but I don't really have any leads to go on. So probably throwing himself into working with Making Waves people.
Okay. The Great Lakes Waves branch. I love it. So you're in with the Future League. If you at all wanted to follow up with Lizzie, you do find out that there's been a little bit of turmoil within the Aegis pod, and actually Lost Boy has left and gone to join the Future League.
Wow.
So that's actually a pretty big deal. Nobody knows really the details behind it, but Lost Boy was the leader of the Aegis Shield. So the fact that the leader of the group left under mysterious circumstances to join some other group, that's something to think about.
Confidence building.
Not confidence building. Notice a couple of weeks ago, Lizzie's like, this is not a good time to join. It's fine. It's fine if you don't want to join. It's not a good time. So that happened. So if you wanted to use that connection, you could possibly get a meeting with with at least with Lost Boy, he could act as some sort of representative.
Yeah, I think I'm curious. I want to find out more. I'm not sure if I want to leave Atlantis yet, but what they said in the pamphlet sounded intrigued something in Serpentine. So,
Okay. All right.
so
Well,
yeah.
let's make a persuasion check. So that would be whatever your persuasion is times 1.5. I don't know what your persuasion is.
My persuasion is only 1, so that'll be.
If I recall, it gets bumped up to a 2. So let's do that. So you rolling with a +2. So let's see what you get.
Here goes.
If
Come
you
on,
roll
dice.
despite your terrible bonus, something else will happen, I'm sure.
Nope. That's a 7. So 7 plus 2, 8, 9. Can I throw in like a loyalties or something like that? Like,
which one do you think would apply?
Well, this is. I only need 1 to get a 10. I don't have anything that would. Certainly, I don't have any loyalties that would boost it up to 20. But
Right.
I think either community or humanity wanting to help out the future, or more likely comrades, because I'm doing this through Lizzie to talk to.
No, I like that. Let's use comrades. No, I like that.
Comrades is only +1, but that's all I
You only
needed.
needed a +1, so yeah,
Yep.
so you're good. No, that's fine. No. Yeah, let's use that one. So using Lizzie to get so you get a meeting with, I'll say you have a meeting and you're told to meet there, and it's actually the same spot that you were at before.
Cool. Yeah, I go looking around, knocking, seeing if there's anyone there on time.
When you go in, because you can just go into the building. When you go in, it's kind of run down. Like I said before, like very run down. Everything's kind of trashed inside the building, but that same guy with the face mask and the hood is there.
You look awfully familiar. Wait, something about you is familiar, but.
He says, yeah, I could say the same about you. The gills kind of are familiar.
Yeah, they catch a lot of attention.
He says, so you're Serpentine, and you're interested in joining the Future League. Is that correct?
Yes, I found the pamphlets. I wanted to find out and do more. I've been working with Atlantis to try and form connections so that we can all, because I believe in that idea that we all need to work towards saving everyone. And with the whole being kidnapped by and held in a weird track facility, and then the faceless attack, and this, and then working with some former hounds and all. I want to make things better.
He says, okay. Hit me.
Okay, do I need to roll for that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So fighting plus.
Well, depends. How are you trying to hit him?
No, I haven't really done.
Are you trying to deck him? Are you trying to knock his wind out of him? Are you trying to sucker punch him? Are you trying to display how powerful you are? How you punch him?
He didn't say to blast him, but So I'm not going to use Nashers. That doesn't seem at all good. I'm not going to bite him with my Dunkleosteus teeth.
If somebody says hit me and you're like, that is
But I
that
think
wouldn't necessarily be my first go-to, but
this is my
yeah,
first. This is my first time using it, so I'll use my elasticity and stable limbs kind of thing.
Okay.
I'm not really doing a grab action, so I don't really add elasticity to anything, so it'll just be a normal roll, really. But let's see, I can do so.
Well, it's a normal roll, but at up to what is your elasticity?
So elasticity 4, and I have stable limbs.
So it's a normal roll, but you're punching them from 20 feet away.
Right.
So so that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Come on, dice. And they rolled off the table. Come on, dice. I really need to have a talk with my dice. So that I rolled a 3.
Okay.
Even with so fighting is +3, so 6, and we were saying might is another 6.
Okay.
And
so that's a 15.
I don't know. Can I add like perfection? Like I was really trying to focus on this punch.
Perfection already adds into whatever your perfection skills are.
That's right. And my perfections ones are athletics and empathy, so never mind. Yeah.
There you go. Okay, cool. So you punch him. I mean, you rolled a 15. That's a good roll.
No, I got a 3. I got a 3 plus
a 6 plus a 6.
3 plus fighting is 6, and then plus might is another 3, so it's 9.
Another 3.
Yeah.
Okay. So then that's 12 then, which is fine because it's still a 10. So essentially, like you flung your fist across the room, and it hits him right in the face. And it's weird because he doesn't his body doesn't move, but it's his face kind of does like that when he gets hit, and he just kind of that was pretty good. Hit me again.
Anyway, right. Same style or some other method?
He says, surprise me.
All right. So I'll try my wave clap on him.
Oh, okay. You're going to go lethal on him. Go ahead.
Well, he said surprise him. No.
The only reason I say it is because your wave clap is like a gun.
Right.
So if somebody said hit me, would you pull a gun?
Right. And Nashers inflicts brutal damage. And I would not do the bleeding, so it's just the only other option is just like a normal punch kind of thing. I don't really have anything else. So actually I'll try to do flashy instead.
What is that?
Flashy. Not the hypnotic light, but the blinding flash kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
So that is.
Where is that? Let's see.
It's Aquatica, and it is flashy. It's a resistance roll.
The name of the power is flashy. I was not feeling very creative that day, apparently.
So yeah.
No, and it literally is flashy, y'all. I might rename it maybe in the next edition or something. It was just like, it's just called flashy. Whatever, dude. You're flashy in this power. I don't care.
So yes, must have follow the light, having better control. Check is the core ability one, so that's just
Yeah. And it's better if you use it underwater, but it's cool if you're using it here.
yeah. It
So
can still
mental trauma roll. So you roll discipline and aquatica,
awesome.
and I will roll mental trauma against that. So let me see what I get. Of course, now is this roll is the one that I actually want Martin to make. And of course, this is the time that I roll amazingly. I rolled 2 1s in a row earlier. But this time I roll the 18. So
I got a 19.
okay.
So
Well, I have a 30 total then.
oh
'Cause he
no,
has
I rolled a 10, so my total is 19.
Oh,
so
your
you
total was 19. Okay.
Yeah.
I rolled an 18 on the die. So yeah, you make your nodes come out and they flash really bright. And then like when everything clears, you see he's got a pair of sunglasses on. You know, and he's like, cool. All right, come with me. And he just walks out and just starts walking away from the building.
I follow him. Yeah.
All right. You get into a car. It's like a red, like what is it called when there's no top? Convertible. Like a red, like convertible Cadillac, like old style. And you drive away with him. So very, very cool. Wraith, what do you want to do?
So she does go with Bygone to finish helping with the catacombs. She will also, at one point during those last 2 weeks, go to one of Serpentine's further self-defense or fighting classes because she still needs to learn how to do that. So, she'll be there, talk to him, do that. And she will again check in with Retribution and just kind of see how he's doing. Does he need anything? He's still welcome to stay at her place if he likes. Does that?
Yeah, so he's like
agreeable.
Oh wow.
I mean, your pancakes are getting way better.
Yeah, no, that's so. Thank you so much. Yeah, wow. Are you gonna like get a different place because like you're moving away from campus with the Seekers?
No, I'm not moving in with them. I'm helping them. I'm part of them. I'm just also going to be working at school. So there's what I do there and what I do at the school.
Yeah. I should. I mean, am I like staying, or am I just gonna kind of keep crashing here? Like, should I pay you rent? I don't know. I've never I haven't really had roommates before.
Why don't you stay here and we'll talk about other stuff? Because to pay rent, you probably need to get a job.
Oh no, I'm independently, moderately wealthy. I have a stipend from the government.
Okay. We'll talk about it. But for right now,
that's part of my deal.
Oh. Okay.
Yep. Lawyers at the Seekers.
But yeah, so if you want to stay, I'm cool with it.
Yeah. Oh, thanks. And if you want to learn how to fight, I got you.
Yes, please. I'm very bad at that.
Serpentine is amazing, but
he's a great teacher.
His moves are all weird, and you can't do that. So, but you do other stuff. I don't know. Maybe between the two of us, we could probably sort you out.
I appreciate that. Yeah. So for now, you teach me how to fight, and you stay here. How's that?
Yeah. Okay. Sure. And do you mind if I keep cleaning up the place?
Not at all.
All right.
And actually, you don't feel like you have to, you know. If I'm sitting around and I haven't been doing enough, just let me know.
That's never going to happen.
The only thing that annoys you about the way Retribution cleans is that he organizes all of your books by color of the spine.
Okay, I will ask him to stop doing that.
He says that makes it way easier to find the books, and you're like, what?
Yeah, he'll stop doing that.
See, Aloy is doing this because he knows that by degree I'm a librarian.
Not only do I know that, but I also just recently saw a show that my wife was watching about like home organization, and that's how they suggested you do it. And I was like, no, why would you do that? Like that's
no.
Why would you do no? But anyway,
okay.
It seems like that would be something that would go on in Retribution's mind.
So she would ask you to just stop that.
Sorry. Yeah.
No. I didn't tell you ahead of time, so okay.
No, I get it.
So
the other thing I would do.
Go ahead.
There's one other thing. Actually, okay. She's gonna go back to the library and check where she normally meets her mentor.
Mm-hmm.
And this is of course going to be in the evening, like when she would normally talk to him, and just kind of sit, and she doesn't say anything this time. She's just kind of being very calm and kind of waiting. Does he come?
Do you need him to come?
She needs to sort some things out, but she has one particular question she wants to ask him.
Okay. He'll show up. Essentially, like that's his thing. He'll show up if you reach out mentally. He shows up. The floating eye.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so she catches him up on basically what's happened. Does he have a reaction to that?
I'm going to say that no. It appears, and there's not much emotion in his voice. So but like there's almost never any emotion in his voice.
Right. So just nothing.
You can't tell if he's just not reacting to this, or if he could be reacting and you just can't tell.
Okay. So her first question, she's got two, is, am I going down the right path?
He says yes.
And the second question is the one she'd been too frightened to ask, like forever, before this hall exploded around her. Who are you?
The question is, does he reveal himself now because it's the last session, or do we leave it a mystery for all of time? Exactly. It's a hard choice. No,
When you roll something?
Nah. Oh, well, I guess the question is, do you want to know who I was going to have him be? Or do you want to leave it up a mystery for your character to probably ever find out?
Oh, yeah, because that sounds appealing. Yeah, I kind of want to know who he is.
Okay. Well, so what I'll say is that it's Phase. It's the Kiesling.
Okay.
So, he and he'll even say, like, he had kind of seen the potential in you, earlier. He even came to the city, hoping that he would find you, in person, but, hasn't yet. So if you want to, if you come to the block, you'd be able to meet him in person.
Okay. That seems a lot less creepy than this. So yeah, see you there.
And then you can join the same thing that Bygone is doing, which is fun.
Very cool.
Can we do? So we want to do some catacomb rolls.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
So it's the same survival and knowledge, and I just need 3 more.
All right.
29.
9.
All right. Well, that's
20.
1.
10.
Another.
I presume I came back right after, or did I go walk off into the sunset
I
with?
think you walked off into the sunset at this
Okay.
point.
Gotcha.
24.
24. All right, cool. Well, that's your 6th one, so that's what you needed. Were you looking for anything in particular in the catacombs, or just like, ooh, these are cool?
So what I was looking for was entrance, exit. If it was being used by anything else, and the usability of it.
Okay. I mean, it's miles and miles and miles of tunnels. So I'll say like the section that's nearest to your apartment is probably not being used by anything.
Okay.
But there's also not necessarily great ways to seal off parts. So if you start using a part, somebody could just come across you at any moment. So if they also know the catacombs, unless you oh, hey, I said earlier that you know of an amp who has earthbending powers. So if you were to say tap that guy and be like, hey, can you come and like seal some stuff off and like do some stuff down in the catacombs, like he could probably do that for you.
Okay. Awesome.
But otherwise, it's a whole bunch of catacombs, and you guys probably get lost the first couple of times for hours, until you're like, okay, we've marked the walls now, we get it, we know now like where we're supposed to go.
Retribution had peanut butter jelly sandwiches and juice boxes in his backpack. In case people got hungry, yeah.
You're awesome.
I love
Kind of like a weird mom.
Yeah.
So, she looks at Bygone and goes, you want to try to excavate these? See what we can find? See if we can find anything interesting?
Excavate or utilize.
How about both? I like both.
Whoa, like secret layer stuff?
Why
Oh man.
not? Or like a safe haven.
Yeah.
Like
Igon's going hideout, Wraith is going Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Like if we can seal off at least a small area where if we need to go to ground, we can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
At the same time, if we want to go exploring, I can make it so that we can get in and out of at least that area through our hideout.
Well, and by exploring, we can map it.
Yeah. And who knows what else might be down here.
I'm totally
this might be a good place for other people if they need to hide out too.
Mm-hmm.
This could be another part of. This could be another portion of the block.
Yeah.
It could
Very
be.
cool.
It could be just a fallout place.
I like this.
Pretty cool.
Love it.
Hey, Aloy,
All right.
I have Retribution's denouement if this is where we're at now. What he's been doing for the last 3 weeks or now.
I mean, yeah, most definitely.
Like
Go
jumping
for
the
it.
counter now. Okay. So
Yeah.
Bygone, Serpentine, and Wraith, probably about like 3 weeks to a month later, right? Slightly future-proof. You each get a manila envelope, which is like fairly thick.
Okay.
When you open it up, there's a handwritten note from Retribution. His handwriting is like super tiny and tight and very kind of claustrophobic. And it says, "This probably sucks." And then you look at the cover of it, and he's written a memoir called "Facing the Pain," an amp terrorist memoir. So he's got, big emotions, right? And it is to Claire Kaplan, which is is his sister, and it says, "I love you and fuck you." So that's like his memoir, and he's hoping to publish it because right now is a really good time to jump on all the anti-amp, anti-faceless sentiment. So he's going to make bank. That's what his friend Dino Tribe told him.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And then in the future, he does like weird like TED Talks, right? And like goes to high schools and goes to prisons, and that's kind of.
The first thing that Wraith will tell you is that you do need an editor.
What? Yeah, really? Yeah, no. I mean, again, very honestly written.
Yeah.
But,
Super raw.
she'll do whatever she can to help.
Yeah, it's funny because Carol's my editor.
Oh,
Yeah, that's why it's funny. Make a crafts and performance roll.
Sure. 10.
10 total.
Well, I rolled a 10. So
You
yeah.
rolled a 10. Oh,
Can I add my humanity stat to it? Humanity loyalty?
actually, yeah, you could probably add humanity to that specific roll. Humanity would work.
14.
14. All right, well, there you go. So
Some
we know that it is.
some
It's
potential.
at least a decent book.
It's some potential. Something to grow.
It is not utter trash or anything.
There you
so.
go. It's slightly above utter trash. Perfect.
Oh, that's really cool. I like that. Very cool. And so you guys, you have the catacombs as a hideout. You have a memoir you're writing. Serpentine goes and joins the Future League. And the guy with the mask, he actually, when you guys get in the car, he takes off his mask and and he introduces himself as Tim, and he says, "We're gonna have a fun time, Tim, or Serpentine. I'm Tim." Which sounds really silly. It sounds like a Monty Python. Like, I am the all sorcerer. You can call me Tim.
Tim.
But anybody who knows the lore of the game, you know who he is, and that's why. And then of course Serpentine's like, but it's the president who was assassinated essentially.
Oh, nice.
He's very
President
chill.
Aldridge. What's that?
I say he's very chill.
He's super chill because he's died a few times. So
Serpentine's jaw not only dropped, it unhinges.
I'm not there.
oh, that's right, because he's got elasticity.
That's so great.
And the last thing that happens is over the next month or so, the crime rate drops to nearly zero, and like there's like any gangs that you might have thought of, they're gone. No faceless around anymore. Everything is like becomes super peaceful, and everybody starts like, wow, this is actually really cool, but like, why is this happening? I don't understand. And probably within a few days of those reports being released, it is also announced that the completion of the government's tower is now complete, and it is called the All-Seeing Eye, and it is responsible for bringing the crime rate down. So all you bad guys, just better not do anything bad, because we have the All-Seeing Eye watching over us now. And yeah,
Nothing's going to go wrong with that.
No, definitely nothing. There's a whole lot of things that are happening to make that happen. It's not like just, hey, one person thought of it. Like, there's like a million conspiracies that have led to that. Also, I'll say is that when you check back in with the Seekers, Dr. Glass actually tells you that those little beads that he found in your wrists are strikingly similar to some of the research that a lot of the Seekers have been brought on to develop. And I'll leave it at that. And it's essentially about basically it's about like cybernetic stuff, like combining machine and person. So, and there you go. That's where we're gonna end it, because that sets and that's like 4 months into the year. So there's still 8 more months of chaos after that. But hopefully everybody who came and watched this enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it as players.
Yes.
Do you have any questions about the AMP world, the AMP game, anything like that you want to ask me as the creator, or anything like that?
Sure. One thing I was curious about it. If you were going to run this game, where would you given the fact that you have all 4 years, where would you place a new campaign if the players wanted like the most classic superhero experience, right? Because I know there's a lot going on in different ages, but like, let's say you're bringing a new group of players who know superhero genre but don't necessarily know all of AMP. Where would you pop them in to kind of get them started?
One of my favorite places to kind of start people is obviously in year 1 before all of the everything starts. And there's actually a spot in the first year where this is before the Seekers is officially done, but it's when Jacob, who is Dr. Luminous, and Critter, Stacy Winters, where they actually start support groups. They start kind of underground support groups for people who have been developing powers but don't know really how to access them or utilize them or anything to that effect. So if there are a lot of like adult kind of characters, that's an easy place to start. Just, hey, you see a flyer.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And you're going to go to this support group just to see what's going on. And then the other characters are also there and they're all, I actually end up using that as like a setup device because you can just say, you all don't know each other, but you're asked to stand up before the group and introduce yourself. Bam. Cool. Like that's an easy way to kind of enter any new group into the world. The other way is if you were going to play kind of younger characters, kind of also you would start them within the Seekers, but the Seekers actually start taking in basically orphans, families who have kids who are developing weird things and they don't know what to do with them. They bring them to the Seekers, and then the Seekers start the Steve Donahue School for the Gifted, which is basically my X-Men analogy for the mansion. But that becomes a place for young amps to be sent. And then that's why the Seekers ended up developing those young amps, and the best of the bunch ended up becoming the Aegis Squad. So that's, so it evolved from there. So that's also a good place to start. But affiliations end up lending a lot to that. Changelings ended up starting around the end of year 1. And that's, if you're an amp and you have powers that disfigure you or make it so that you don't necessarily fit into society anymore, then you would join the Changelings. And that's an easy place to start as well, because you just start in the sewers. So you're just like, you're greeted by a man named Conduit. He says, come with me, and bam, you're done. And then, year 2 is really where everything starts to go to hell. So year 1 is actually really easy to introduce people into the setting. And it really is just a matter of how much do you want it to be known, so, everybody knows in year 2, but even up through year 1, there's like, in the beginning, no one knows. About halfway through the year, there's a good number of people who know, 3/4 through the year, there's people who know, and there's people who, don't know, but they suspect, so there's like varying levels based on how much suspicion and mystery you want around the what amps are. So very good question. Anybody else have any questions?
On the a couple tagging on to that last one, have you ever done one? Because as I recall, the matriarch went to some of those early like support groups before she went and founded the
Typhoon. Yeah.
Typhoon. Have you ever done a session where, like, oh hi, my name's Rhiannon or something like that, or and before she does?
No, Rhiannon's usually gone. The thing about Rhiannon's power is that it's like it's not even in the book because it's a stupid powerful power. So and for anybody who doesn't know, the matriarch's power is if you're around her, you want to serve her. Like that's essentially what happens. You just want to do whatever. She just seems like the best person to make all the decisions. So you just like, hey, what do you want to do? So it makes everybody into a retribution essentially. So it's kind of like how Retribution was treating this small group. She was running an entire crime underground with the power to make people basically that subservient to her, without even trying. She didn't even have to try. No, but she did start off as Dr. Luminous's lab assistant, which it actually says that in the book before she was just like, oh, this is very interesting. So you're saying that this is how the chemistry of it works and this is how the genetics work. Oh, very cool. I can take this and create drugs with it. So that was where she went with it. It's probably not the direction most people would, but she also she realized that she got megalomania from the fact that everybody was wanting to do everything for her. She's like, well, I mean, why am I going to say no? Like, just go ahead and do it. You mean there's a time traveler? The time traveler wants to do stuff for me now? Well, yeah, let's do that. Because Chiron ends up becoming one of her slaves, and he hates it. Year 4 was really fun because year 4 was when I got to bring her back, because he killed her in year 3, and then I remember too, because I was like that would be the best thing for me to do, and I didn't like come up with that at the get-go. I started writing the letters to, because in year 4 the future Chiron is writing letters to his present self. So when I was writing those letters, I was like, what lesson is he going to get from these letters? And then that's when I was just like, because I even had it in one of the letters, I had it say, you should accept help from places that you would not think you should accept help from, because I've spent a lot of time alone and this is not a good road for you to go down. And I was just like, what he would do is he would dip back to the second right before the matriarch died, and he would pull her from the void and into the present. So essentially she died, but she died for like this much time. And he was able to save her and brought her back into the present, and was just like, I can send you back, or work together. So it was that was a really fun thing to write. And it was not there's a bunch of stuff in the storyline that did not necessarily, that I didn't know was going to happen initially. Like, it all happened organically. Everybody knows the secret of Dr. Luminous is that he started to mutate, and he started absorbing a bunch of other amps into himself. But you know what? I didn't even come up with that power until I'm trying to remember which writer wrote it, but I commissioned a writer to write up all of the mutations for year 3. And that was one of the mutations that he actually wrote up. And I was just like, oh, well, I can take that and run with that. Let's make that into a thing. Because that just sounded just too cool to just absorb other amps into yourself. And then that became like his like main thing now. And then that just made him even more evil. So yeah, there you go. I mean, evil subjectively, he really does think that he's doing good things, but it just, mutations
the
also
villain of their own story.
That's the hero of his own story. He has gone to great lengths, but also, I don't know. The letters that Chiron wrote to himself also revealed a lot about like what the future could have been, stuff like that. There's so much good stuff in year 4 that I really loved. And honestly, all of the books have really great stuff, but year 4 had a lot of great stuff. Year 2 as well. Year 2 had a lot of good stuff in it. So anyway, so you had 2 questions, you said, Martin. Sorry, I ramble.
Yeah, no, it actually that actually branched out a couple, but and one of the things that was like tempting me to go with mutations were like these hints of higher, more powerful amps who had like more than 3 powers and stuff, like Blue Flame, Blue Wing, like the Lion of Africa, who I think would be an awesome a game played working with him as his pride or whatever, helping to save the Sudan and stuff like that. would
Yeah,
be
the Lion
fun.
of Africa is another one of those characters that he's meant to be so powerful that I can't write up the rules of how to play the Lion of Africa. Because it's basically like, you know how when you play an RPG and you're like, I'm gonna play Superman, and it's like, cool, I'll play Batman, and it's just like, but we're on equal footing. It's just like, no, but that's not how it should be. Like it's like there's Superman over there. That's the Lion of Africa in this world is Superman. So you can't play as Superman in AMP. So,
Yeah, that was my question. Like, is there, because with mutation, it's possible to get a fourth and a fifth power. You just mutating, possibly going crazy, possibly devolving in some way while you're doing it. I don't know. Is there going to be an option to more safely develop greater powers if, say, you've been playing since you same character from year 1 all the way through year 5? And
I would, I'll go ahead and do your follow-up question.
And since we had mutants, we had saps, we've had Twiceborn and Quislings and all that. Is there going to be another new character type in year 5?
So the question, the answer to the last question is yes. There's a new one. I won't reveal what it is right now, but it'll make a lot of sense in the context of the stuff. Like I can tell you guys when we're not recording anymore if you want. But yeah. So and actually, there's a lot. There were only a few hints here in this game that we played to what that extra one might be, but we'll deal with that after. Will there be a safe way to get more powers? No, I'll say that. There's essentially, you can have 3 powers, and like literally if you max out all 3 powers at level 10s, then like there's no reason, because you have so many things that you can do within those powers. The way that the power branches and power trees and stuff work, like just having go ahead.
I thought you couldn't get level. I thought you could only get like level 7 in the second one and level 4 in the third
that's
one.
Right. No, yeah, that's right. Yeah, unless you have mutations. Like that's the thing. Mutations allow you to get extra powers as well as send your other powers higher, but at a risk. So yeah, but no, there's not going to be another way for you to do it other than that. The Lion of Africa is the exception to all rules. So for instance, the orphans came, and if I recall, when I was explaining what the orphans were, I was like a couple of them could level a city and like take on like an army of amps and all that stuff. And no, the Lion of Africa took out one. He just like, hey, get out of here. The orphan's like, no, I rule here. And he's like, no, you don't. And then he just like slaughtered the orphan because he's the Lion of Africa. Like that's just what he does. So, it's like, well, I mean, he was severely hurt, but he did it, and he did it by himself, and that's the big thing. He's that powerful. So just to say that, though, there is going to be a Kickstarter. It's going to be in February for finally getting the final book for this game out. And one cool thing is that there's a word for it, but it's basically the anthology, the omnibus, of it. So we are going to be releasing a version of it that just has all 5 years in it. The idea is that if we get the funding and we get the additional affiliation guides, then we'll just throw everything. We'll throw all of the affiliations into a secondary book, or we might just throw it into all the same book and make it like 800 pages. I mean, we could do that. Depends on how much people want to pay for printing, I guess. That seems exorbitant. That seems like it would be a lot of money, but a lot of people like having it all in one place, and I'm like, okay. I mean, I like having it separate books.
For reference, like Mage was like 600 pages, right?
I think it's somewhere.
I would want all the lore in one book and all the mechanics in another.
that would drive me crazy. I would go, go!
I mean, I could both together, but then when I show the game, now. I got a 600-page book.
See,
I'm the weird one because I'm the one that. Go ahead, Crystal.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I said I do like having everything together, but that's because it's so much easier from a writer's standpoint to find everything if it's all in just one document.
Yeah. For me, though, I like having source books and stuff. Like, for me, like, I like to be like, oh, that power, it's in this book. Here you go. And then, like, I don't have to, like, we don't have the giant tome that we have to pass around. Like, I can just hold on to this book because it's got my power in it, stuff like that. So, yeah, anyway. But yeah, there is going to be a Kickstarter. There's going to be the ability to just pick up the new book, pick up any past books, you can pick it up in print or PDF, and there's going to be the ability to buy just the giant omnibus book if you are interested in said artifact. We're still pricing and getting everything together, but like literally, I think it's going to sell for like $100 or something like that. It's crazy. It's because it's a lot of material. I believe it's almost $200 worth of material that you would if you bought it all separately. So I think it's going to end up being like half that because you're not paying for printing of each thing individually. So like who cares? So yeah. So anyway, thank you everybody who came and and played. Thank you to everybody who came and watched. And that will be the end of this story. But we will be back after the new year with a new game, new players. Who knows? I don't even know. I haven't called anybody or talked to anybody about it because I'm waiting for the new year. But we are going to be back with a new game. And we're probably going to keep it at Wednesdays as well. That'll be my night. Of course, Craig's night or Craig's day is Saturday. But definitely do come back on Friday where me and Craig will talk. I think we're talking about like holiday games. So that should be fun. Anyway, I will see everybody on Friday and you guys have a great one.
Good night.